Hello everyone. I'm going to show you how to create simple ROAs for the RIPE region. I just logged into the LIR portal. This is lirportal.ripe.net. I've logged in with my own RIPE NCC access account, and this is the first window I see when I have logged in. Now on the left, you can see that I have the chance to go into the RPKI dashboard. I'm going to click on it. And given this is the first time I am logging in to the RPKI dashboard, I can take a choice. I can decide to manage my resources in a hosted fashion where the RIPE NCC is taking care of everything, or I can run them in delegated mode where I have to run an external process. Most of the people use Krill for this purpose, specifically designed software by NLNet Labs. But in this case, I'm just going to go for a hosted version, and I will accept the conditions that I will have carefully read by this moment to start the process of having the RIPE NCC create my certificate authority hosted, and then create everything else, my ROAs as well. So I will click here, I accept what's written in the conditions, and then everything happens in the background. What I get here is a view of my autonomous system network, the resources that I have. Here is the list. I have AS58280. I have a /22 and a /29. So this is a pretty standard LIR. This is my own personal LIR. And at this time, I don't have any ROAs, but the RIPE NCC takes data from RIS to tell me there are actually 2 BGP announcements that are visible in the routing table related to my resources. So what I can do is I can click on Origin AS next here, choose all of these ROAs and say, go select create ROAs for selected BGP announcements. And when I do so, you see that it gives me the current status, but also the future status. So in this case, the BGP announcements will move from unknown to valid in both cases. But when I clicked on that button, when I clicked on create ROAs, they weren't actually created. They are in a pre-creational stage. So I can go here and review and publish them before I create them. So in this case, you can see that, and let me move that. Voila. You can see that there is a special button that says, do you want to apply the changes or discard them? And in this case, I will click on apply, which means that at this point, the ROAs have been created. So at this point in time, I have 2 valid announcements, 0 invalid and 0 unknown, standing by what's visible from RIS. And I can go here and check the 2 ROAs I have. So in this case, I have a ROA that's specific for this /29 IPv6, and the max length is 29. So it affects 1 BGP announcement. What I could go ahead and do is at this point, I could create another one, for example, an overlapping one, and say AS58280 for the same prefix. Let me copy the prefix down here and say I want to have for a /32, the first /32 in my allocation. And let's say I allow everything up to /48 to be created. Then I say save. And even here, it's staged. So even here, I need still to go here and say, apply these changes, create this ROA. There are no affected BGP announcements, as you can see here, 0. But this is something I could do in preparation of a new BGP announcement that I will configure on my routers maybe later today or tomorrow. And so this is everything I need to do for creating a ROA. It really takes 5 minutes. And then another important step I could show you is here. It says there are no alert email configured. So what I could do is I could ask the RIPE NCC to send me an email when there are invalid and unknown announcements or invalid announcements only to a specific email address. So I could go here and say, this is my address. Send me a daily message saying if there are invalid and unknown announcements from my resources. And this will help me understand if there's anything wrong in my allocations, anything wrong with my BGP announcements. Now, there is another final small thing. So far I've created, if you remember, the choice I could do at the beginning between hosted and delegated RPKI. If I wanted to go back and now move from hosted to setting up my own krill instance, I could just click here, revoke the hosted CA, and then fill in all these information to make sure I know what I'm doing, because this is a sort of a disruptive change. Okay, you're deleting your ROAs, and then all your BGP announcements will move back to unknown, which is not that bad. But RIPE NCC wanted to make sure you know what you're doing and you don't do it inadvertently. So here it is. I could just go here, fill in all the requests, put my reg ID, my confirmation, just write revoke, and then click on revoke to cancel everything from the RIPE NCC servers, and then go back to have a choice to go with delegated RPKI. Now, this is pretty simple, and I hope this will help you understand more about how to create ROAs, and I hope will increase ROA coverage in the RIPE region. Enjoy.